You're sitting at the dinner table. Everything is fine. Nobody is angry. Nothing bad is happening. But your brain is already planning for the worst. You're rehearsing arguments that haven't happened yet. You're preparing for disasters that may never come. You're reading silence as rejection and kindness as a trap. And the strangest part, you don't even know you're doing it. This is not anxiety. This is not weakness. This is your brain running a program. A very old, very exhausting program that psychology can finally explain. Let's start with what this actually looks like in real life. You send a message and they don't reply for an hour. Your brain says, they're angry. You said something wrong. They're pulling away. Your manager says, can we talk later? Your brain says, you're getting fired. You've done something wrong. Someone is quiet in the car. Your brain says, they hate you. Something's wrong. Ask them. No, you'll seem needy. Don't ask. Sound familiar? Psychologists have a name for this pattern. It's called catastrophic thinking, and it doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is working exactly as it was designed to, just for a world that no longer exists. Here's the psychology behind it, and it's actually fascinating. Your brain has a built-in system called the negativity bias. It was designed 200,000 years ago to keep early humans alive. Back then, missing a threat meant death. So the brain evolved to always scan for the worst possible outcome first. Here's the problem. That same brain is now inside you in 2026, where the threat isn't a predator, it's a double tick on WhatsApp. And there's more. Psychologists at Harvard studied something called the default mode network, the part of your brain that activates when you're not doing anything. In most people, it wanders. In people who expect the worst, it goes directly to threat simulation. You don't choose to catastrophize. Your brain defaults to it. But why does this brain, your brain, default to threat? Because somewhere in your past, the worst actually happened. Not necessarily something dramatic. Not necessarily something anyone would call trauma. Maybe you grew up in a home where the mood could change without warning. Maybe you learned very young that calm didn't last. Maybe love was conditional. Maybe safety was unpredictable. And so your nervous system learned, never relax, always prepare. Because the moment you let your guard down, that's when it happens. Psychologists call this hypervigilance. It's not paranoia. It's a learned survival strategy. The child who could read a room, who could sense tension before it erupted, who always stayed one step ahead of the chaos, was brilliant. That child kept themselves safe. But now that child is in your body, still reading every room, still bracing for impact, in situations that are actually safe. And here's the cost that nobody talks about. When your brain is always preparing for the worst, you are never fully here. The date goes well, but you're already analyzing what could go wrong. The job is good, but you're waiting for it to fall apart. The friendship feels genuine, but you're testing it, searching for the betrayal you're convinced is coming. You become emotionally unavailable to your own life, not because you don't care, because you care so deeply, and you've been hurt enough times that your brain decided caring less was safer. Psychologists call this emotional anticipatory grief. You mourn things before they're even lost. And the exhausting, heartbreaking part? You do all this suffering in advance for outcomes that most of the time never even happen. So what do you do with a brain that was built for danger, in a world that's mostly safe? You don't fight it. You don't shame it. You update it. Here's what actually works, backed by psychology. Step 1, name it. When the spiral starts, say out loud or in your head, my brain is running the threat program again. Not, I am anxious. My brain is anxious. That one word, my brain, creates distance between you and the thought. Step 2, ask the interrupt question. What is actually happening right now versus what am I predicting? The present moment is almost always safer than the prediction. Step 3, retrain the default. Your brain strengthens what it uses. Every time you return to the present, you build a new pathway, a new default. Not blind optimism, but accurate thinking. Psychologists call this cognitive reappraisal. It doesn't erase the wiring, it builds a better road alongside it. You were built to survive. Now it's time to learn how to live. If this video explains something you felt but never had words for, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below because I genuinely read them all. Tell me, what does your brain catastrophize about most? Subscribe to Sahrsplained Psychology that actually explains you.